Premier Nabanja wants Uganda Hospital elevated to a referral hospital. We also have a look at a mistreated migrant worker who is happy to be back home from Dubai. And then the Renzururu veterans warned over misuse of Emyoga funds.
Was brought to you by Everywhere You Go, MTN.
Thank you for joining us. It's now time for the news in detail. President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has assured stakeholders in the tourism industry that government prioritizes the sector and is committed to revive it after the COVID-19 disruptions. President Museveni was speaking at the launch of the Rediscover and the Magnificence of Our Pearl, a tourism rebranding initiative at the Kololo Independence Grounds in Kampala.
Uganda's highly anticipated launch of the Pearl of Africa brand has finally taken place at the Kololo Independence Grounds and graced by President Yoweri Museveni. The launch of the tourism initiative is one of the many strategies being implemented by government to stimulate the demand from both existing and new markets to drive faster recovery of the sector that has been badly hit by the COVID-19 pandemic.
So it's a very, very nice place, but it needed a group to talk about it, to inform the world. And that's what, from what I can see, the Ajarova group are really determined to talk about.
At the launch, sector players received assurance from government that tourism is still one of the top priority sectors for the country, despite the dwindling revenue due to local and international travel restrictions that have kept potential visitors away from the tourist attractions across the country.
Before COVID-19 pandemic, tourism in Uganda was in a strong and positive trajectory, leading in foreign exchange earnings, accounting for 7.7% of GDP and 6.3% of all formal employment in the country. The disruption of COVID-19 pandemic greatly affected the tourism industry.
If Uganda is a pearl of Africa, what pearls does it have to offer for each of the travel segments and preferences? There are also been several efforts by different players to create awareness at various levels with various levels of success, but there has been a lack of single-mindedness messaging and or in the interpretation of what constitutes the Pearl of Africa.
Before the coronavirus outbreak in 2019, Uganda had set a visitor target of 2 million in 2020, a target that now needs aggressive marketing and branding to achieve in the near future. Dennis Igoa for UBC News.
Prime Minister Robin Nabanja says that government will upgrade the Uganda District Hospital to a regional referral hospital after assessing the number of patients accessing the facility. The Premier was also briefed about the unstable electricity supply, scarce drugs and mechanical damages of the X-ray machine at the hospital, as these details share with us.
At 8:30 a.m., the Prime Minister of Uganda, Robin Nabanja, was already at the gates of Iganga Main Hospital to check on service delivery and the status of the hospital. The service providers at the hospital had no idea about the Premier's visit to the hospital. Upon her arrival, she proceeded direct to the female ward to check on the mothers who had given birth, where she also distributed financial aid to the patients. Premier Nabanja was on her way to Palisa, but decided to make an impromptu visit to Iganga Hospital.
To commission roads from Nakalama here, Tirinyi up to Mbale. Then we also have another road from Kamonkoli Palisa. Then
after the tour of the facility, Premier Nabanja engaged in the discussion with the hospital heads, who reported to her a number of challenges.
This hospital is due for upgrade, but we have to go through the process. You know the processes of upgrade.
Many who got wined by the Premier's cash bonanza at the hospital attempted to make their way in, but all in vain. Hospital Administrator Ramadhan Gaboli says Nakavule Hospital is challenged with unstable electricity, breakdown of the X-ray machine, and scarcity of drugs. He, however, asked the Premier to come to their aid.
It's about the X-ray. Yeah, for quite some time it has not been working. Some technical problems, and we notified the ministry. The ministry sent an engineer. He came on site and he verified the machine. They promised to contact the supplier and rectify the issue.
Story compiled by Yusuf Abo for UBC News.
In another unfortunate turn of events, one person has been confirmed dead and 4 others injured after a fuel tanker overturned and burnt to flames along Mbale Tororo Road. According to the Mount Elgon Region Police spokesperson Taika Rogers, a boda rider died on spot and attributed the accident to bad road use.
Gezaako oba kumusevinga nakwatirawo wapiki emmoloka naye neyeefula bwetomedde bigundi biri ebisementi biri then nebasika paka lwegudde wali n'ababoda naye ate driver wa boda ye tafudde bamugjewo ne bamutwala mu ddwaliro n'omukyala abaddeko kati omusajja twagezezaako omusevinga twagala omusikayo emipiira wegikwatidde omuli
kunoonyereza nakyo olaba enkozesa embi ey'amakubo mu less than 3 weeks tuwadde ba drivers abo abali Airlines EPS kunuukiriza asatu lwakuba nti basuddeyo gwa nagamba okulaba nti basaayo oba enforcing discipline kubakuba. So ffe twagala basaba nti bongere okugoberera amateeka agafuga.
As government plans to reopen the economy on Monday the 24th, Minister for ICT and National Guidance has advised Ugandans not to relent but to continue adhering to the standard operation procedures. Minister Baryomusi was addressing journalists at the Uganda Media Center in Kampala.
Government has announced that the economy will be fully reopened as earlier promised, though the decision might be reversed if the situation gets out of hand. In this period, adherence of SOPs shall be key to stop the further spread of COVID-19.
We shall continue to require you to put on masks when you are in public and put them on correctly and consistently. We shall continue to require members of the public to wash their hands with soap and water or use a sanitizer.
The night economy is expected to thrive again, though motorcycle riders, also known as border riders, will remain prohibited to operate after 7 p.m.
5:30 a.m. The rest of the spaces which were under restriction will start opening.
Nonetheless, truck drivers and crew members with negative PCR tests for the last 14 days will be allowed to move across borders.
Up to 66 laboratories were assessed and approved. And I think in Uganda we have up to 22 laboratories which had been approved. So that if a test is carried out by a laboratory in Uganda that has been approved, then the results should be accepted across in Kenya, in Tanzania, and South Sudan.
Vendors operating in Kampala are to be relocated to government markets to have an organized city.
Nakitegeerako nti government teyagala tubeere ku kkubo naye obuzibu buli bumu gye tusindika teriyo baguzi.
Because those markets exist and there are people who go to those markets. And it cannot be true that if I go to Usafi market or St. Walikudembe, I will deliberately shun the vendors who have been relocated and just go to the other traders who have been there. It depends on what you are selling.
Kampala City is both an administrative, business and political capital, which presents opportunities that attract city dwellers looking for a livelihood. Ivan Kahua and Miriam Womjisha, UBC News.
Now, a city pastor, Aloysius Bujingo, and Susan Namakula Nantaba have been charged with 3 counts of entering into a void marriage. The accused pleaded not guilty to all the alleged offences. However, court granted them bail and each of them was asked to pay 3 million shillings in cash. Pastor Aloysius Bujingo and Susan Namakula Nantaba appeared at the Entebbe Grade 1 Magistrates Court this Friday morning.
Pastor Aloysius Bujingo and Susan Namakula Nantaba have appeared before Entebbe Grade 1 Magistrate Stella Okwang Pechula this Friday to take plea of the charges against them. The two are facing 3 counts of bigamy, contraction of marriage when already married, and contraction of marriage with previously married person. However, they both pleaded not guilty. Attempts by the city lawyer Hassan Malema Bilizi to have the DPP take over the case collapsed.
As court has notified him to avail us information and also in line with our letter that we earlier submitted.
This magistrate had an application before her to strike out the DPP's letter to take over my case. She failed to fix that application. She did actually give it a date, but she's coming to court and entertaining the DPP. Secondly, she's saying that once the DPP comes to court, then she has taken over, which is of course illegal. You cannot say you cannot hear me, then you come and take over.
Pastor Aloysius Bujingo and Susan Namakula Nantaba pleaded for bail through their lawyer, Ronald Rohindi, who informed court that the accused will not skip bail. Magistrate Stella Okwang Pechula granted each of the accused a cash bail of 3 million shillings with strict conditions. The next hearing has been fixed for 18th February 2022. However, City Lawyer Malema Bilizi was seeming not happy with the way court handled this matter.
There's an affidavit I filed yesterday. Now, he not only refused to refer to it, but even when I stood up and the magistrate was saying I cannot speak in my own case, she picked my affidavit and said, using my powers, I don't see any value in this affidavit. But this is my case. So what if I'm killed by Ujingo or by the magistrate granted bail? Will the magistrate compensate my family? So this was a lawless proceeding. The magistrate, I don't know which laws she was reading, and I think they have to be challenged. Even that bail has to be nullified.
I've seen that my brother Malema Bilizi may not be interested in this case. If Malema Bilizi drops out of this case, I'll remain with Teddy Naruswa Bujingo, whom I've seen around in court. So we can remain 2 complainants, myself and Teddy Naruswa.
Bujingo's official wife Teddy Naruswa Bujingo listened in as all this was playing out. Pastor Aloysius Bujingo and Susan Namakula Nantaba are accused of committing the alleged offences at Nyombi Tembo's home in Entebbe Wakiso district on the 7th of December 2021. Nathan Rebecca, Kagugu Besula, UBC News.
Prosecution has opposed the bail application of novelist Kakwenza Rukirabashaija, who is facing charges of offensive communication over fears that he might interfere with the ongoing investigations. Kakwenza's legal team, led by lawyer Aaron Chiza, applied for bail on grounds that he needs to seek medical attention from a medical facility of his choice. This was before Chief Magistrate Douglas Singiza at Buganda Road Court in Kampala.
Social critic and a fiction writer Kakwenza Basajja, who is currently incarcerated in Kitalia prison, is struggling to get bail. Kakwenza appeared before Magistrate Douglas Singiza of Buganda Road Court via video conference from Kitalia prison. The writer applied for bail through his legal team, led by Aaron Kiza, and presented by counsel Julius Galinsonga, David Louis Lubongeya, the NUP General Secretary, Ashaba Ann, and Job Kiji as his sureties.
We have one, by the grace of God, is healing, but it would be in the best interest of his health, that his recapitulation and independent and access to independent and choice medication is done when he has the liberty.
Prosecution led by Joan Keko objected to the bail application, saying the accused might interfere with the ongoing investigations.
Regarding the medical report that I have just been served with this morning and the back, paragraph 4, Your Worship, is that he also had healing scars on his back, buttocks, thighs, hands, for which he is on medication. And it does not, in any of the paragraphs, indicate the causes of these scars.
The presiding magistrate, Douglas Singiza, set 25th January 2022 as the day for the delivering of his ruling on the bail application.
No circumstances permit torture of a person, whether physical or mental. However, the torture of a person in police or military custody or any state custody is additionally reprehensible, because the state is the primary duty bearer when it comes protecting people, when it comes protecting their property.
Some of those who attended court, including politicians.
But you never see the perpetrators of these heinous crimes being prosecuted before courts of law. So in essence, you have the victims being victimized. You find that the prosecution is on the victims of torture and not the perpetrators of torture.
And I'm also here to communicate that we are giving this court an ultimatum of up to Tuesday. Failure to do that, we are going to take action. We are going to stand with Kakwenza, and we are not going to tire from fighting for his rights.
Prosecution alleges that through his Twitter handle at Kakwenza Lukira, Kakwenza will flan repeatedly, disturbed the peace of the President of Uganda and the Commander Land Forces with no purpose of legitimate communication. Deborah Nama Monde, Natongorebe.
Well, and that takes us for a short commercial break. We'll be back with more news right after these messages.
Pay school fees conveniently using MTN Momo. Dial *165 *80 hash. Enter the student code provided by the school. It will show you the student name and the class plus outstanding balance. Enter the amount you want to pay. Enter PIN. You will get a notification confirming payment. It's simple, secure, and convenient.
Everywhere you go, MTN.
All eyes are on Africa. All eyes are on Cameroon. All eyes are on UBC. The drama, the heartbreak, the suspense, tears, joy and celebrations in the biggest sporting event on the continent. In one place, UBC. Call your public broadcaster today and grow your business with us. 0752 265 827 and 0776 611 540. UBC, inspiring Uganda.
It's Freaky Friday from Airtel. Buy or gift. Buy or give.
Get freaky too! Dial *149*10 hash to load a Freaky Friday bundle for you to enjoy the best offers on voice and data.
To buy a bundle for friends and family, dial *149*10*5 hash. Freaky Friday with Airtel. Buy or gift a bundle today. Dial *149*10 hash to get started. Airtel, the smartphone network.
Raising voices.
As a community member, I think we need to change the way we act in response to violence against children. In my small way, I can be a leader in preventing violence in my community. I promise to work with my neighbors to create violence-free homes and communities for our children.
In this time of COVID, what is your promise to the children of Uganda? Because a violence-free childhood is everyone's right. Raising voices.
Pay school fees conveniently using MTN Momo. Dial *165 *80#. Enter the student code provided by the school. It will show you the student name and the class plus outstanding balance. Enter the amount you want to pay. Enter PIN. You will get a notification confirming payment. It's simple, secure, and convenient.
Everywhere you go, MTN.
The thing goes twink, twink, twink.
Grab an ice-cold bottle of Pepsi Max today and drink to your bold lifestyle. Enjoy maximum taste with no sugar. Now available at a shop near you. Maximum taste, no sugar.
Welcome back from that short break. You're still watching UBC News Tonight, broadcasting live from Nile Avenue here in Kampala. Also on YouTube under the name tag UBC TV Uganda. We're now taking you to more news. Now, imagine being motivated to work abroad, only to end up living in a dehumanizing form of environment. Now, this is a story of a 29-year-old Rebecca Ahimbisibwe who spent nights on the verandas of Dubai in the United Arab Emirates. It took the intervention of the State House Anti-Corruption Unit to save her from the jaws of death, as Henry Okrut reports.
Saved by the bell, right on time. This is the kind of happiness that these sisters expressed after one of them nearly met her creator before time. 29-year-old Rebecca Ahimbisibwe had been motivated to work abroad by her relatives. On reaching the airport in Dubai, she met the unexpected.
Then he drove the car. I thought he was taking me maybe to Dubai town or what. But he took me to some far place. It is just near the borders of Oman. You just pass through the desert. You take like 2.5 hours to reach.
If this were a movie, this was just the beginning of her predicament, going by what happened the first night and the next morning.
I was tired. I slept on the carpet just like others did. I waited. In the morning, they just give you tea in the morning with a small bread, lunch tea with small bread, just like that. That is their food.
Not willing to take it anymore, she demanded to return to Uganda, only to be told like this.
Then she was like, to go back, you have to pay 6 million because I bought you. Then I told her, you bought me? Then she was like, yeah. But me from Uganda, I knew I bought my ticket, I bought my visa, so I didn't know that there is someone who bought me.
Her ordeal was unknowingly being shared by her family members, who were worried, having not heard from her since her departure. Then came the bombshell in this audio that she shared with her sister, Ruth Namara.
She was crying, saying she has been mistreated, she's miserable, she wants to come back home, and she was like, please, people in Uganda, do whatever you can do so that we are saved.
It took the intervention of her family to ensure her sustainability while in Dubai, as the process for her return to Uganda was still being worked on.
They are telling her she can't travel because her passport has been blacklisted. So they tried and connected with that guy of the company, the agent, to do whatever possible so that my sister can come back.
And finally, she was on the plane, something she nearly thought was a dream.
I was so happy. On the plane, I could just thank God. Because it was very harsh there, because I knew I was coming to my home country, which is good.
The day they told me your sister is going to fly back home, I couldn't sleep because I was waiting to see her.
The State House Anti-Corruption Unit played a key role in her rescue.
Because many people have died in those countries, but we thank the Anti-Corruption Unit that they did whatever possible to bring her back.
This is just one of the many cases of migrant workers that the unit has rescued from dehumanizing treatment in the Middle East.
We were able to coordinate with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the Ministry of Labor and Gender, and our embassies in Middle East countries, and we helped the girls and the women, majority, over 600 of them who were engaged in domestic work.
Going forward, Nakalema has a word for parents.
Before we let our children go, let us know what they are going to do, but also let's not allow these labor export companies to just take our children and not follow them up.
From operating a retail shop in Uganda to attempting to become a migrant worker in Dubai and back to Uganda, the 29-year-old Rebecca Ahimbisibwe is now jobless. From this experience, aspiring migrant workers could learn a thing or two. Henry Okrut, UBC.
A Ugandan herbalist is producing cancer and diabetes medicine. Professor David Senfuka of Leon Biotech Limited is only waiting for Ministry of Health certification to allow him produce the drugs in bulk. Senfuka, who was recently given a green flag to manufacture the cancer and diabetes drugs, is being supported by senior citizens who are Professor Dumba Sentamu, former Chief of Justice Wako Wambuzi, former Katikiro of Buganda Mulwanya Muli Semwogerere, and Dr. Erioda Tumwesije.
President Yoweri Museveni recently pledged support to the Kasubi-based herbalist David Senfuka, who has gained recognition for treating cancer and diabetes among those that approach for assistance.
Tulese wano lwaleero tuzze okubanjulira nti mu lutalo luno lwegattiddwako ba senior citizen okulaba nti tusindiikiriza kansa ne sukaali. Kakati bw'oba oyagala okusindiikiriza obulwadde bwonna ewantu oba ku muntu bumuviire olina ebintu byewetaaga mu kulwana olutalo olwo. Ekimu kyewetaaga wetaaga eddagala n'abasawo. Mu Uganda tulina abasawo. Naye ekizibu ekibadde ku ndwadde ezo bbiri tubadde tetulina ddagala lya bulwadde obwo. Kati abakulu abo ne banonda okuvaayo okwegatta nange tulabe nti eddagala erigambiddwa nti nno abantu balikozesaako bakkakkana baweweera nti eddagala eryo twetaaga okulyongeramu kaweefube okulaba nti lituuka ku mutindo ng'amateeka g'eggwanga bwe gakkiriza. Kati ekitongole kyabwe ekyo kyaguddwawo okuba nti nno kirabirira abalwadde ba kansa ne sukaali n'okulaba nti nno kiteekateekawo eddagala nti abantu abagenda okumufuna abatamulina kati naye nga bagenda kumufuna nabo babeere seefu okuba nti bamanyi nti eddagala weeriri.
This herbalist has also now been joined by Professor Dumba Sentamu, former Chief Justice Wako Wambuzi, former Katikiro of Buganda Mulwanya Muli Semwogerere, and Dr. Erioda Tumwesije, who is the chairperson Leon Biotech Limited.
I'm here to support Mr. Senfuka, mainly for several reasons. Personally, I'm a victim of cancer. I was. Senfuka has cured that. Secondly, 2019, my wife lost the battle because of cancer. And thirdly, I remember when I was in Parliament during the 8th or 9th term, there was a very strong proposal by Health Committee that we should support herbal medicine. And we went very far to propose to government. And we wanted the government to enact a law that could allow, could facilitate the research and maybe the treatment of cancer.
Senfuka through Leon Biotech Limited is to promote the advancement of medical research in the field of cancer, diabetes and other diseases. Former Chief Justice Wako Wambuzi says there is need to promote public health awareness campaigns, health clinics and educational programs meant to give back to community.
But on the other hand, I was very, very pleased and happy to be given an opportunity to fight these two diseases, because they robbed me of a dear one, my first wife. She succumbed to cancer, and I saw the time she spent in hospital. 2 months I was there with her, and I saw what she went through. So I said, oh, this is what cancer does. And then, as far as diabetes is concerned, I have a little granddaughter, aged around 9. She's suffering from diabetes. Well, when I first heard of this disease, it was an adult sort of disease. But for a young kid like that one, how long was she going to?
The Ministry of Works and Transport has urged to the leaders and residents of Lango sub-region to call off the announced demonstration over the bad state of the Kamdini-Lira Road. State Minister for Works Musa Echweru says that government is doing everything possible to make the road motorable.
The increasing pressure to the political leaders of Lango sub-region from the residents has compelled them to put government on notice over a planned demonstration. The pressure rises from the poor state of the 70-kilometer Kamdini-Lira Road.
To have the roads in Lango worked on, but this has fallen on deaf ears.
And to my dismay, they're using mud to fill the potholes.
Government, through Ministry of Works and Transport, has advised leaders to manage their anger as the road maintenance going on.
Actually, the Lango sub-region, that every effort is being made to make sure that we will make that road navigable. And as we prepare to have permanent intervention so that this road from Malaba, Tororo, Tororos, Mbale, Soroti, Lira Kamudin will be just like the stretch that continues from Kamudin to Elego in the north.
Echweru says strict conditions attached to this project by the World Bank are holding the project from a complete takeoff.
The conditions of the loan from the World Bank requires that strict compliance to the environmental and social standards, and that conditions require approval by the World Bank by all environmental and social safeguard studies, including those of acquisition of construction materials. If you are not happy, kindly express your disappointment in another way.
The World Bank is co-funding the project with the government of Uganda.
Currently, the source of aggregate for undertaking the work has been identified, and Uganda National Roads Authority is working with the bank to ensure that the material source meets all the safeguards required. Again, as I've told you, the World Bank is interested to every detail. Where the source, are there some challenges, and if there are challenges, have they been sorted out?
The World Bank has, since the Kamwenge Road incident, tightened the conditions of its support, mainly the environmental and the community involvement aspects of any project in which it has an interest. Abdul Nasser Lubwama, UBC News.
Furthermore, the Katikiro of Buganda, Charles Peter Maiga, has tasked parents to interest their children in vocational training to uplift their communities. Maiga was officiating at the 16th graduation ceremony of the Buganda Royal Institute of Business and Technical Education in Mengo.
The Katikiro of Buganda, Charles Peter Maiga, has reiterated the need for Ugandans, especially the youth, to utilize the available vocational training skills to close employment gaps. Maiga says the Buganda Kingdom is committed to its promoting skills development. This was at a graduation ceremony of Buganda Royal Institute of Business and Technical Education, where over 500 technicians graduated with certificate in electrical installation, automotive mechanics, plumbing, secretarial services, among others.
We are here to support the pursuit of your dreams. We want you to have big dreams, and those big dreams can be realized if you take the necessary steps when you get the needed support. A dream can be realized if the right plan is put in the right place.
The Minister of State for Trade, Harriet Ntabazi, says government is committed to improving skills output in the vocational sector. She hailed the Buganda government for imparting knowledge and skills to Ugandans through their livelihood programs.
The economy now is looking at hands-on. What do you have in your head that can help you when there is no job? You can imagine the population and the speed at which people are graduating. The government may not have the capacity to employ everybody, but you are doing a very great job to create jobs, to create skills that will transform into jobs that will employ our young people.
The principal of Buganda Royal Institute of Business and Technical Education, Anthony Wamala, expressed gratitude to its various educational stakeholders, parents and staff for their commitment despite the COVID-19 pandemic challenge.
All our efforts were geared to ensuring that we remain strong and we survive despite the challenges. For instance, we enhanced our online programs, and for the period from 19th July to 4th October 2021, we successfully conducted online classes for all programs.
Schools in Moroto districts are overwhelmed by the high numbers of learners who turned up for studies on the reopening of schools after 2 years of a total lockdown of the education sector. The huge turn-up is attributed to a directive of the compulsory and forceful reporting of students to their respective schools in Karamoja sub-region by the line ministers of Karamoja Affairs, Dr. Mary Goroeti Chitutu and Agnes Nandutu, Moroto Diocese Bishop Abura Joseph, and political leaders from the region. These are the details.
With government efforts to enforce forceful and compulsory education in Karamoja sub-region, the learners' turn-up in schools is overwhelming.
Should be saved, if we have to use that word, is to make sure that education becomes compulsory so that every child, every school-going child can go.
It is actually the solution because the education is going to fight the cattle rustling.
Yes.
It will also stop the early pregnancies and early marriages.
In a security meeting held at Katonga in Moroto municipality, the RDC for Moroto, James Shilaku, warned the parents who had failed to take back their children to school that they would be imprisoned. However, some parents reacted that they will take their children back to school, but the schools are filled to capacity.
We are coming with Potoro. Now the Potoro coming is for the parents who have not taken children to school. We are going to deal with you.
people are willing to take children to school. Them now comes. Desks is a problem, where to sit. And also classrooms.
At Naitakwe Primary School in Moroto District, learners sit on the floor throughout the lesson of 2 hours, a matter that the district education officer is yet to address with the availability of the capitation grant.
Classes or two, we needed to share with the DE what is going to happen. Are they going to provide us some other tents because of the rain?
In order to observe the SOPs, some pupils study under the tree, as the deputy head teacher at Naitakwe Primary School, Anyakun Beatrice, explains.
We just take them under the trees, under the shades, they learn from there. It's only the time when it rains that we send them back to their classes.
The situation is not that different from Kasemeri Primary School in Loputuk sub-county. There, pupils sit while squeezed without observing SOPs. Others stand in classrooms and others study while peeping through the windows outside. This is Primary 7 at Kasemeri Primary School. A teacher has to stand in one place while teaching since the space is overcrowded by pupils.
In Uganda.
Most of these schools fail to observe social distance due to inadequate infrastructure.
P1, P2 are not supposed to wear masks. But the upper primary, they are responding very well, but except the challenge of social distancing due to limited facilities.
Some Moroto district officials attribute the high turn-up on the mobilization role leaders played.
This was extremely impressive. Out of, we noticed like for P1 class alone, overall, 350 pupils had reported. On the first day, numbers that you are seeing in the primary school is a result of mass mobilization that we put in place, spearheaded by the RDC, the district chairperson, the DEO, and the other sectors. By the way,
there are over 600 students. And I met the teacher who told me now that they have turned the dormitories, the classes into dormitories. And more are still coming.
School heads are worried by parents who insist to enroll their children in boarding section, even when they are told of inadequate space in schools.
How inadequate boarding facilities in the school. But with all that, most of our parents still don't understand when we say don't make us a filter. They still keep insisting that please squeeze.
But RDC Shelaku and Moroto District Chairperson David Korianga insists that children should go to school and leave the matter of putting up more infrastructures to government.
To school, when the school is full, they will give government to show that put more what? Classrooms. Need more desks.
The overwhelming attendance should not scare us. We need more. We need more. It's also positive because it gives room now for us to plan for more construction of the teachers' houses, of more classrooms.
The State Minister for Tourism, Martin Mugara, has advised all the institutions which offer the course of tourism to include paramilitary training as part of the curriculum. He was officiating at the pass-out of Uganda Hotel Training and Tourism Institute personnel at Gaddafi Barracks in Jinja.
One of the key components that the paramilitary training is instilling in these students really is also that kind of some self-defense or being a security alert, because you know Definitely we have terrorism all over the world, and recently we were attacked. Thank God that the security forces averted it as soon as it had begun. But also now everyone that goes out from this school, that goes out to the field, because remember they man places where there are crowds, hotels, restaurants and the rest, they should be able to respond easily, be on the lookout. So a little different from someone else who hasn't gotten this training. In students, you saw how they performed. They were good at the shooting, good at the gun assembly, good at the marching and the rest. And also, so I want to thank them for that. And of course for also instilling patriotism, because that's one of the subjects within, one of the modules within the paramilitary training.
Desire the students, especially tourism students, who go out to national parks to guide guests, to guide clients in the wild, they should be hardened. Their bodies should become strong and resilient to difficult conditions so that they are able to endure and to give a good service. Secondly was the issue of change of attitude. There is a way the training helps them to improve their attitude, so that, as the minister says, the students have a heart of service. When they are going there, they are serving the tourists that has come. Not that they are going just to earn money, but they go with a heart that is willing to serve and to do everything possible to provide a good service.
It's Freaky Friday from Airtel. Buy or gift. Buy or give.
Get freaky too! Dial *149 *10# to load a Freaky Friday bundle for you to enjoy the best offers on voice and data.
To buy a bundle for friends and family, dial *149 *10*5#. Freaky Friday with Airtel. Buy or gift a bundle today. Dial *149 *10# to get started. Airtel, the smartphone network.
All eyes are on Africa. All eyes are on Cameroon. All eyes are on UBC. The drama, the heartbreak, the suspense, tears, joy and celebrations in the biggest sporting event on the continent. In one place, UBC. Call your public broadcaster today and grow your business with us. 0752 265 827 and 0776 611 540. UBC, inspiring Uganda.
It's no secret that ICT makes learning easy.
The strides made in our field couldn't be possible without it.
And now we can watch our favorite show.
My radio is my best friend.
UCC provides an enabling regulatory environment and policy guidance for healthy competition. We also facilitate ease of doing business in the communications sector through licensing, standardization, spectrum management, tariff regulation, rural communication development, and consumer empowerment. An informed consumer is an empowered consumer. UCC supports local content and innovations. Driving the development of a robust communication sector in Uganda is Uganda Communications Commission.
It's Freaky Friday from Airtel. Buy or gift. Buy or give.
Get freaky too! Dial *149 *10# to load a Freaky Friday bundle for you to enjoy the best offers on voice and data.
To buy a bundle for friends and family, dial *149 *10*5#. Freaky Friday with Airtel. Buy or gift a bundle today. Dial *149 *10# to get started. Airtel, the smartphone network.
Welcome back. You're still watching the UBC News Tonight. It's now time for the business news. The Insurance Regulatory Authority has finalized the complaints management system geared at improving on efficiency of service delivery. With its implementation, the regulator is optimistic of customer satisfaction over enhanced revenue collection, among others.
The Insurance Regulatory Authority has released its 2021 sector performance, which shows significant growth in the value chain. Various sectors of the economy had a subdued growth in 2021 due to the COVID-19 pandemic and its effects on production and productivity, as well as low disposable incomes.
The slow growth of the economy means the economy is not properly oiled, doesn't have the funds to make it move the way it should move. Definitely, when the resources in the economy are limited, it means that even the consumption of insurance will be affected.
But what explains the insurance sector growth amid the numerous challenges?
We have made sure that the players put on market the products which address the needs of the people. We have made sure that the players come up with the means which address the times. As you definitely know, under some time we were under lockdown. People couldn't move. So we have encouraged players to use the digital platforms, and they have responded positively.
The total gross premium written through bancassurance agents amounted to 76.4 billion as at the end of Q3 of 2021. According to IRA, the performance was below expectation and called for the widening of the net.
I therefore have urged the insurance companies to engage more with the bancassurance agents to see that those products, the life policy, the education policy, the property policies, the group life policies, and many other policies need to be sold out.
Increased cases of insurance fraud, market conduct issues, and the slow pace of oil and gas activities, among others, are cited among bottlenecks to better performance. Dennis Igor for UBC Business.
Uganda Airlines and Bar Aviation Uganda have entered domestic flights partnership to promote national parks in Uganda starting the 1st of February 2022, and operations will be from Entebbe International Airport. The initiative is aimed at promoting tourism potential of Uganda as a country as well as to boost domestic tourism.
Uganda Airlines and Bar Aviation Uganda have entered a partnership aimed at developing tourism industry in Uganda. This is a great milestone for Bar Aviation as it expands into scheduled flights, operations, and also partner with Uganda Airlines to offer reliable, efficient, and convenient services to passengers.
So this is good news for the aviation industry. When you have scheduled flights, it means that there is hope that passenger traffic on domestic routes will certainly grow. And it is even more important that they have entered into an interline agreement with Uganda Airlines, which allows them to carry passengers brought in by Uganda Airlines from wherever.
The destinations will include Kisoro, Kihihi, Kasese, Mwea, Semliki, Mbarara, and Murchison Falls. For example, Bugungu, Chobe, Pakuba.
It's just a one-stop center. When you come through Uganda Airlines, you'll definitely be connected as soon as you arrive at Entebbe Airport, and then you go to your best destination.
The partnership aims at promoting domestic and international tourism by working with different stakeholders.
I want to thank them. It's good. It's going to be a booster for travel in the domestic market as well, but also importantly that they are targeting even the local Ugandans that want to travel out there. But of course, because of hectic distances, it's a challenge. So I think this is a good solution and will probably work positively for us as a sector.
Is that we're going to get more high-end clients because more lodges are coming in. I'm also building more lodges. What that simply means that the high-end clients don't actually want to spend 6-7 hours traveling on the road across the country.
Bar Aviation offers aviation services including chartered flights, air medical evacuation on both helicopters and fixed-wing, aerial surveys, government support flights, contract flights, and also runs an aviation academy. Sandra Kahunde, Kenneth Tenawa, UBC News.
The Deputy Executive Director for Microfinance Support Center in Kasese, Helen Masika, has vowed to arrest all those that picked the Emyoga funds and have misappropriated them. Masika made this threat while addressing the Rwenzururu veterans during a training of trainers about how people can properly utilize the 300 millions that has been disbursed to their Emyoga accounts by government through the Microfinance Support Center.
Proper utilization of the Emyoga funds has been a challenge to many who have got the chance to receive the funds in their accounts from the Microfinance Support Center. However, speaking to a congregation of Emyoga funds beneficiaries in Kasese town, the Deputy Executive Director, Microfinance Support Center, Kasese, Helen Masika said the government will work closely with police to crack down Emyoga defaulters.
Projects come and people think these are free things to just eat and waste. But with the concept of Emyoga, it has transformed the mindset of the communities of this country.
The Deputy RDC Kasese Joshua Masareka also sounded a warning to the Rwenzururu veterans for misusing money that comes from the government. He said the government has been supporting the kingdom with various projects in the fight against poverty, but at the tail end, the money is misappropriated.
They shouldn't take this money like how they have been taking other projects. It is not only that, because government has been giving them a lot, but that a lot is eaten by a few, and they continue even opposing the government, saying government doesn't give them anything. But in actual sense, when government has been giving them. So my advice to them is that when they are given this money, which is Emyoga, which is a seed capital, they should use it properly.
Kule Sulait, one of the trainers of the Emyoga in Kasese, says some politicians have been interfering with the project funds that come from the government.
Move on to mobilize people to embrace the Emyoga idea. We still have a number of challenges. One is that there are some politicians who still divert people that it is a political program.
That we are going to keep on supporting and join President Museveni in supporting and embracing government program.
The Rwenzururu Kingdom Premier Joseph Kule Muranga revealed that with the new leadership in the kingdom, peace and uniting the subjects is now a priority among all tribes in the Rwenzururu region.
Rwenzururu leadership is uniting our people.
Sandra Kahunde, Mutabali Moses, UBC News.
Furthermore, communities in Chankwanzi are complaining of foul discharge by Premier Distillers Factory caused by poor waste disposal. Residents in the villages neighboring to the Premier Distilling Facility are worried over the health impact that might arise from poor dumping of waste by the distillery. These are the details.
Residents of Chisijja, Kalangala, Chisodo, Ntonzi, Cherimira, Kiriabicholi and Chiriandongo in Chankwanzi district are appealing for rescue from indiscriminate discharge by Premier Distilling Facility in the area.
Balina omuka ogunya ekivundu kya nyini nti factory eri polluting environment yononera ddala obutonde bw'ensi mu bimuko guvaamu mu bintu residues ezivudde mu bibafumbye.
The villages neighboring the distillery are choked in the smell caused by poor waste dumping ranging from a mixture of sugarcane waste and other chemicals released into the community.
Abantu tebakyali amazzi gafuga wansi mu kafu gonna bagunona dda babeera basindikamu ebintu byabyo ebivundu byonna bitiisa bubi ensolo zaffe tezikyasobola kunywa naga mazzi.
This has posed a safety concern to the locals, hence calling for intervention from concerned parties. Premier Distillers has been accused of dumping contaminated wastes into River Kafo, which has been a source of water for the locals. Premier Distillers is one of the largest breweries in Chankwanzi district, with a facility operating 24 hours a day. The chairperson, Varwanya Sub-County Umaru Nsubuga, says they have lodged complaints about the dumping into River Kafo, but the factory owners have since remained silent.
Ekivundu n'ekiwunya ekyo ebintu bino ebiva mu nga bamaze okufumba bino ebintu ebize ebibyo ebyo ne babirabira ddala we babiteeka.
Story compiled by George Niyonzima for UBC News.
And that brings us to the end of our 10 o'clock edition of News Tonight. Let's take a look at the headlines before we can sign out.
Brought to you by
How to get points. Just use MTN to make calls, send SMS, load airtime, buy bundles, or pay for MTN subscription services.
Everywhere you go, MTN.
One dead and 4 injured as a fuel tank catches fire. Premier Nabanja wants Uganda Hospital elevated to a referral hospital. Mistreated migrant worker happy to be back from Dubai. And Renzururu veterans warned over misuse of Emyoga funds.
Was brought to you by Everywhere you go, MTN.
Well, all good things do come to an end, and that's the end of our bulletin tonight. Thank you for being a lovely audience. My name is Wadulo Mark Arnold. Mugalu Muhammad on sign language. We sign out now with the weather updates. Enjoy your night.
A warm welcome. It is time for the weather forecast from the Weather Center. Weather Semper Alex Kim. Sunny conditions dominated our skies across most parts of the country, and this is so because of the strengthening of the high pressure systems to the north of the continent, as well as a weakening of the high pressure systems across the south of the continent, dragging the rain belt far away from our region. Otherwise, we do expect to see sunny intervals across our skies most of the day tomorrow, apart from areas within Lake Victoria Islands where we do expect some chances of some light isolated rainfall well into the afternoon. Because of that, we do expect temperatures to be a little bit high at 31 degrees centigrade will be across Karamoja region. The nation's capital, Kampala, at 27, and in Kawale Highlands, we are forecasting at 24 degrees centigrade. Elsewhere across the globe, we are forecasting cold conditions for Moscow at a daytime high of -3 degrees centigrade with falling snow, and for New York at -2 degrees centigrade with sunny intervals. With that, we wrap it up. Stay tuned and join us again tomorrow, same time.
Omuzadde omulungi ewayo nabonabona mbuli kumata obuliri nabufuluma kulw'amabujje g'amatenyo galabirira ne Yesu by'essanyu